Hello everyone, my name is Dee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are going to be doing a messages from your person reading. So we are going to try to determine what it is that they want to say to you, what it is that they've been wanting to get off their chest when it comes to this connection, how it is that they feel about you, etc. And then we will pull some tarot cards to see the current energy of the connection. So, pile 1, we have smoky quartz. Pile 2, we have blue howlite. And pile 3, we have jade. Hello, pile 1, my smoky quartz pile. Let's take a look at what it is that your person wants to say to you. Let's take a peek. Okay, let's get some of the messages cards out here to start. Okay, pile 1, what does your person have to say to you? I got spooked. Oh my. We've got, I am finally feeling the consequences of my actions. I still love you, jumping out immediately after that card. Your beauty still moves me. I do have to say the cards are flying out for you, pile 1. I miss you regardless of how things seem. Please don't take what happened personally. It's not you, it's me. I feel badly for the way that I treated you. You didn't deserve that. And let's get the last card from this deck if we can. I've thought about you a lot lately. I am going to quickly organize all of those. Okay, pile 1. So clearly your person is still feeling some type of way about you at this point in time. It does seem as though something has gone awry within the connection. Let's get the other messages deck out here. We have, I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with my promises. Would you give me the chance to make things right between us? I wish I had told you how much you really meant to me. I feel like there was, well, maybe, I thought that there was another card that was very similar to it, but not really. However, I would say the I miss you regardless of how things seem. You know, kind of goes along with that same thought pattern. Oh my god. Okay, so a lot of cards jumped out. This was the original one, so I'm going to keep it. There are still so many unsaid things between us. And let's see if we can get another 4 cards. We've got I look at your picture often. To the floor we have lost. It all comes down to timing. I am trying to do the honorable thing. Oh my. And you still hold a piece of my heart. Now let me quickly organize all of these. Okay, pile 1. So just from the messages alone, we could definitely tell that this person misses you, that they still feel quite strongly about you and about the connection itself. Again, we are going to very shortly pull cards as far as the current energy of the connection. But I feel like some of these messages cards can tell the current energy as it is right now. You know, it really seems as though this person still feels quite strongly about you. I feel like this person misses you. I feel like something perhaps did occur between the both of you, at least for some of us who is listening to this, who are listening to this rather right now, that something did occur between the both of you, because it does seem as though this person feels like they treated you in a type of way that you do not deserve to be treated. You know, they feel like they have to take accountability for something. They feel like they have to apologize for something. They're hoping for a second chance. I feel like for some of us right now, this connection could be low or no contact. I especially feel that way because of the fact that they miss you. They're feeling the consequences of it. To me, and even just where we started with what I believe was the first card, I got spooked. To me, that's an indication that at some point in time, the two of you might have been trying to move this connection forward, and your person showed some fears, either of commitment or emotional intimacy, that could have caused the connection to have maybe somewhat of an abrupt ending. I feel like this person does feel bad. I feel like this person is being very genuine in regard to the messages that came out. I feel like right now they are like suffering / struggling at this point in time. There might be some personal issues that they are struggling with as well, because I feel like this connection for at least some of them could have triggered them into recognizing that their behavior and their actions were uncalled for. So they might be taking a look at themselves and realizing or recognizing certain things that they have to rectify, begin to heal from, begin to resolve within themselves, so that if and when they do come back around for that second chance, they know that they are a worthy partner and they're not going to have those same fears of commitment or fears of emotional intimacy or struggles in expressing themselves that they could have had the first time around. Okay, so I do hope that that makes sense. I also feel like this person is really perhaps stuck on this connection too, because for them as well, it doesn't feel as though they got any closure from this connection. Like they know that they misstepped within this connection. And of course, take it as it resonates. Not every single message is going to resonate with every single person. But I do feel like for some of them, they know that they misstepped at times within this connection. And I do feel like they know that you had reason to get fed up with perhaps whatever occurred here. And maybe you happen to be the person who ended up walking away from this connection. And in that regard, it seems like your person, you know, they feel like right now they're lacking in closure, especially let's say if you were the one that ended the connection, or walked away, or, you know, walked away from it. It just seems to me as though this person's kind of stuck feeling like they don't have any closure from the connection as well. Maybe the same lack of closure that at times you might feel you have. We start out with the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords to me, and we've got the Two of Wands. Very interesting. So to me, the Two of Swords is basically indicating that that as far as the current energy of the connection, it does seem as though the two of you are perhaps no contact with one another. The Two of Wands to me would also indicate that perhaps at this point in time, one or both of you are exploring other options within your love life. Okay? I feel like you're both stuck on one another in some way or another. I also feel like the Two of Wands actually has this message attached to it, but I also pick up on it from the I'm finally feeling the consequences of my actions, where maybe for one or both of you, you thought that the grass was going to be greener on the other side, and you've now come to realize it's not. I feel like when it comes to this connection with this person, there's this lack of closure. And the lack of closure from this connection that you guys had with one another is resulting in, at times, there still being strong feelings for one another. Okay, we have, I still love you. Your beauty still moves me. They've had you on their mind a lot. They miss you. I feel like for you, it's the same thing. You miss them. There's, you know, parts and aspects of this person and this connection that you still love, that you've been thinking about, beautiful things about it, or beautiful things about them as well that you really appreciated. You're still holding a piece of one another's hearts, I feel like, is something that's coming through here. And I feel like with that, there's still so many unsaid things between you both. There is. And I feel like on both sides of this, there is this lack of closure. There was perhaps at one point in time, either one or both of you thinking that, again, the grass was going to be greener on the other side. That maybe this connection that the both of you had together was getting too real too quick, and that triggered some anxiety or fears in one another or in one of you, and you both decided to walk away from one another. But you found that no one else or any of these other options, let's say, that you might be exploring or that they might be exploring, none of those other options are really as either, like, I want to use the word powerful, but none of those other connections are as, can't think of a good word. I'm going to use the word satisfying, maybe. So it's like none of these other connections that you're finding on the other side of this connection are as satisfying as the connection that you both had with one another. And it does bring forth these very heavy vibes to me of like, I wish I would have, and actually it's, I wish I had told you how much you really meant to me, but I feel like it's more so of, you know, like, I wish I had resolved things with you at the time. You know, I wish we weren't in this position right now. I wish I would have, you know, like, manned up or womaned up and expressed myself to you when I had the opportunity, or committed to you when I had the opportunity, or move things forward with you when I had the opportunity, versus the situations that perhaps both of you are in right now. I do hope that that makes sense. That's just something that I'm picking up on. Let's see if we could get another one or two tarot cards out here. We've got the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, again, is going to indicate to me that things are very stuck and stagnant right now. I think I'm going to have to put these like this because I don't really want to cover up the messages cards. But I feel like things are very stuck and stagnant. There's no communication, I would say, for, you know, 99.9% of us, there is no communication. And if there is, there's a good chance that this is perhaps just not your pile today. You know, especially if nothing else has resonated, it might just not be your pile. But I do feel like there's low or no communication. I feel like for many of us, there's absolutely no communication. And it might even be a hot minute since we have seen this person. I feel like the Hanged Man is basically indicating that both of you, you know, are on a pause, are on a break right now. Things are very stagnant. I feel like, actually, I want to pull the last card, but what I find interesting is, to me, the Hanged Man, it can represent two things. Well, it can represent so many different things, but to me here, it's almost like this dual message that are basically complete opposites, where the two of you are perhaps stuck and stagnant, but you're also trying to let go. Because to me, I look at the Hanged Man at times, he could be representing stagnancy. It could also be representing trying to or needing to let go of something. And I feel like through this stuckness and this stagnancy that this connection has had, the both of you thought that it would be easier to let it go, basically, because there's perhaps distance and time and, you know, between the both of you by this point in time. But it's not really going away. There's still this stuckness. It's like the two of you are still stuck on one another, if that makes sense. And let's try to get one more card out here. And we have the Six of Cups. Okay, so with the Six of Cups, I am going to say, please, please, please use discernment, because the Six of Cups is one of the biggest reconciliation cards that are in the tarot deck. Okay, so the Six of Cups could highlight that at some point in time, as this card says, it all comes down to the timing. This person might be planning on making their way back to you, or even you might be planning on making your way back to them. Okay? Again, please use discernment. Please, please, please use discernment when it comes to that message of reconciliation. Okay, so I would say with this connection, reconciliation is a possibility. I would have said that even before just looking at the messages cards, that this person is hoping to be able to redeem themselves in some way. They still feel very sorry about it. The both of you still seem to be very stuck on one another. And I feel like the more that, it's almost like the more that the two of you try to let go of one one another, while there's still not really any closure, and while there are still of these unsaid things between the both of you, etc., and so on and so forth, it's almost like the more that the two of you try to let go of one another, the more you feel drawn back to them. And to me, that might be something that for some of us, you know, maybe this is indicating like we're moving forward closer to union with our person. But for others who want absolutely nothing to do with this person, it might be time to do something like a cord cutting ritual or meditation sort of thing. Like it might be time for you to start really focusing on how to move on from this person. But for others, or maybe for most of us that are listening to this right now, it seems like this no contact situation is one that could result in the both of you making forward movement back toward one another. That Six of Cups to me is perhaps the one card in the tarot deck that will signify reconciliation, you know, or indicate it stronger than perhaps all of the others. And I do feel like this person is dead set. If they're not like dead set on getting back into a relationship with you, they're dead set on trying to like at least reconcile a friendship within this connection. You know, they don't want things to continue to sort of like hang in the balance between the both of you. They don't want there to be any of this awkwardness or anxiety or apprehension. They want the both of you to be in one another's lives. And I feel like for you, or for a majority of us, let's say we want this person to be in our lives too. We still are perhaps trying to figure, I feel like too, with that Two of Wands, I just got this indication of like, for some of us, whether it's you or it's them, it's still trying to figure out what the hell even happened within this connection. You know, because I feel like for some of us, it was rather abrupt. For some of us, it could have been ghosting. Maybe for like a small few, it could be something like ghosting. But for most of us, I just feel like it was, you know, like all of a sudden, this person couldn't continue to move forward when it seemed as though they were going to. And maybe it was you. Maybe, you know, things looked really good at first, and then you were like, I'm not ready for this, and you backed out. So vice versa, whichever, you know, situation resonates most to your own situation could have occurred here. And it does seem like to me the other person in this situation, the person that kind of got left behind, is like, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell happened. And there's still, like, I feel like the both of you are at least, or at the very least, do owe one another some closure within this situation. Especially since it does seem as though the feelings for one another are still very hot and heavy on both sides of this connection. There's still, even though there was some hurt within this connection, it seems like there was more confusion than anything else. And not that that confusion doesn't hurt, but it does feel like, to me, for most of us, it's not like we were betrayed by this person, or it's not like we betrayed them. It's more like things just did not work out. Or someone just felt like they were not ready and left with little to no explanation. So there was confusion, and of course that confusion causes pain. But it wasn't like there was a serious cheating, betrayal. And to me, it's not as though the confusion aspect of it wouldn't have caused any pain. Of course it would have caused some pain and some heartbreak. But I do feel as though perhaps you and or your person are maybe a little bit more willing to forgive and get closure surrounding and hear someone else out due to the possible confusion that could have occurred when one of you chose to step away from this connection with little to no explanation, versus if it was something more so like cheating or betraying the other person. So I do feel like, again, even though the confusion definitely could have caused pain, could have definitely caused heartbreak in the moment, it does seem to me that one or both of you is willing to forgive that sort of confusion that could have been taking place, so that the both of you can hear one another out and find some closure together, and hopefully have this result in the reconciliation of either a close friendship or eventually some type of romantic relationship between the both of you. So I do hope that that makes sense. Pile 1, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, my blue howlite pile. Today we are taking a look at what it is that your person wants to say to you. Let's take a look at what it is that they have to say, what is on their mind, what have they been trying to build up the courage to say to you. Okay, pile 2, let's see. Let's get some cards from this deck first. Okay, we have I don't know how I feel anymore starting us out. I feel badly for the way that I treated you. I can't seem to find the right words to say to you. You inspire me. Well, thanks, I guess. My mind and heart always come back to you. I got spooked. You've been in my dreams. And what are you? We've got, I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. Okay, let's get some of the other oracle cards out here. Before we move on, going to try to quickly swindle these around. There we go. And now let's get from this deck. Let's see what it is that this person has to say. Pile 2, what is on your person's mind? There are still so many unsaid things between us. I'm trying to think of what I want to say to you. I know it might be too late by the time I figure things out. This person just seems very unsure of themselves. I wish I had told you how much you really meant to me. I am trying to take responsibility for my actions now. Please know this. I feel a special bond with you that I've never felt before. Oh my goodness. It's really hard for me to open up. I'm gonna be like, you don't say. Okay, and the last one, I keep comparing others to you. Let me quickly make these a little bit neater. Okay, pile 2, there is quite a lot going on here within this connection. I feel like, honestly, what I might do is just label this reading as a no contact sort of reading, because pile 1's situation was also no contact, so is yours. And I feel like when it comes to communication, communication is an issue. Obviously, right now, I would say there's low or no contact between you and this person at this point in time. But I feel like communication was a huge issue, even when the two of you were more so in one another's lives, even when the two of you were quite possibly together, you know, in a relationship with one another. Communication was very difficult with this person. Okay, we have so many different ones. I can't seem to find the right words to say to you. It's hard for me to open up. I wish I had told you how much you meant to me. I'm trying to think of what I want to say to you. There are still so many things unsaid between us. Just so many different references to this person having a very difficult time expressing themselves. And I'm sure that when you were, you know, like, let's say in contact with this person, when the connection was more so on a full-time basis, when the two of you were, what would be the word? When the two of you were, like, I don't know if I said in a relationship yet. You know, when the two of you were in a relationship with one another or more closely connected, let's say, communication would have been an issue between you both. It just seems as though this person has a very difficult time letting you know what it is that they are feeling. I feel like even when it comes to this first message of, I don't know how I feel anymore, it's like it just sets the tone for them seeming to be very unsure of themselves and their own feelings. Like, clearly they feel bad about whatever occurred between the two of you. Okay, they feel bad for the way that they treated you. They're sorry that they couldn't do right by you. They're trying to take responsibility and take accountability for what it is that they contributed to, perhaps, let's say, the demise of this connection or of this relationship. But they're still definitely struggling to express to you how it is that they're feeling. And I feel like that's something that could continue, especially if this person is not really, it does say that they're trying to take responsibility for their actions right now. And I feel like a lot of it is more like them trying to take responsibility for, them trying to take accountability for a lot of inaction that could have occurred within this connection. I feel mainly the way in which this person did not treat you well could perhaps have a lot to do with them not committing their time, effort, and energy to you. Could be them not expressing themselves to you. Could be them not showing up for you and being a partner to you, etc. A lot of it was them not really putting themselves out there, being vulnerable, telling you or expressing to you certain things. Communication, I just overall feel, would have been a huge issue in so many different ways, that it was difficult to communicate with this person, that at times even, something that I feel like I'm picking up on here, of course it might not resonate for everybody, so as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. But when it comes to communication and it being difficult, I could picture you being in a relationship with this person and them still not texting you back for a day or two. And you guys are boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever your preferences are. You are with this person is your partner, and you're still not getting texts back. Or this person still can barely, tell you how it is that they're doing or how it is that they feel about you, and you're with them. And it just seems like, to me, at times this connection just really was not serving you because of how difficult it was for you at times to communicate with this person in general. Okay? Let alone trying to get this person to open up to you. That would have been like pulling teeth. So now let's see what the current energy of this connection is. We have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands to me is going to bring up guardedness. Okay, so I would say on your person's end, this person definitely is very guarded. I feel like we could tell that from these cards that came up. This person's very guarded about the way it is that they feel. And I also, too, it's like I feel a special bond with you. You obviously mean a lot to them, because why else would the card, I wish I had told you how much you meant to me, jump out. I feel like there was another card, my heart and mind always come back to you. Basically an indicator, and they keep comparing others to you because you're still on their mind, but they're not quite sure of how they feel. And I just overall feel like this person is very unsure of themselves, and perhaps even very unsure of who it is that they are. This person just seems to not be very, very settled, let's say, within their own life. And they don't seem to have a lot of confidence, or again, there's just this unsurety or uncertainty that this person has in general. And I feel like that could have also caused issues in regard to commitment, because it seems like this person's not really quite sure of what it is that they want even right now. And when we see that Seven of Wands message, the Seven of Wands to me is going to bring up guardedness. It's going to bring up protectiveness. It's going to bring up this person at times going into defense mode with you. And it's almost like, to me, like you could have been asking, this is where I feel like communication could have been an issue too. Like you could have been asking them, oh, how was your day? What did you do? Who'd you see? And they'd immediately go on defense mode as if you're accusing them of something. And it just could have, for you in the moment, felt very off. Like I'm only asking you because I'm with you or we're dating and I'm trying to show interest in your life. And to me, it just seems very much so like this person was always on guard with you. And I don't feel like it's just you. I feel like this person at times is very protective over themselves, very guarded over themselves. And for you, it really perhaps, it really, even in regard to you and how you felt about this person, let's say, it could have turned you off as well toward them. We have the Fool. The Fool to me can indicate that at times, so the Fool can represent many different things. It can represent new beginnings, leaps of faith. It can represent recklessness or foolishness. So to me, it just seems as though this person, especially if I want to play off that immaturity message, it seems like this person is very emotionally immature, which I feel like we could tell from how difficult it is for them to express themselves. It's like they're really not ready for a serious relationship. They perhaps were not ready for the connection that the two of you had and the places that it could have gone. Okay, the Fool to me can also bring up casual, non-committal relationships. Not that that was what this was at the time, but I feel like it's more so of a message that this is really all that this person is capable of at this point in time, and perhaps at the point in time when you were with them, because there's a lot of immaturity on their end. There's a lot of recklessness on their end. At times they were very reckless when it came to you and your heart. Okay, and they know that they hurt you because they weren't able to show up and be that person that you would have needed or deserved for them to be. Okay, so I hope, I don't hope that it makes sense, but it does seem like this person is just very emotionally immature then and now. And let's see if we can get any other messages. So basically, I guess what I mean by that too, when it comes to what the current energy is, we've got the Four of frickin' Pentacles, another card that's going to indicate how guarded this person is. But what I wanted to say is, I guess what I'm trying to say is that at this point in time still, if you were to try to explore a romantic connection with this person again, or if you really wanted to go after this person again, you might be dealing with a lot of the same behaviors. Because to me, the Fool here is going to represent, again, that immaturity, that emotional immaturity, that recklessness or foolishness that the Fool, of course, can represent, to the point where it's like this person, maybe, yes, they're trying to take accountability or they're trying to take responsibility for it. They're sorry about it, but it doesn't seem as though they've changed. I would also say, perhaps, since it's hard for them to open up, and communication, I feel, was such a big issue for the two of you to begin with. To see the Seven of Wands and the Four of Pentacles, two cards to me that are immediately going to indicate how guarded and closed off someone is, would be another very strong indication that this person has not changed in that type of behavior. Communication will still be an issue. They will still be heavily guarded. They'll still be in that defensive energy. They're still very emotionally immature, etc. Now let's try to get one last card when it comes to the current energy. We've got the Ace of Wands, which to me, the Ace of Wands almost immediately would back up the Fool when it comes to non-committal, casual types of relationships. I feel like when it comes to this person, if you very badly want this person back in your life, or if the two of you somehow come back into communication with them, I would keep the conversation and the stuff between the both of you very light. I would keep it very, if anything, just like flirtatious, or focus on the chemistry between the two of you, but I would not try to go into anything deeper in regard to this connection. This person does seem to be, or could perhaps be, exploring other connections or other non-committal types of connections, because they are recognizing that that's really all they have, let's say, the capacity for at this point in time. For you yourself too, because it's the current energy of the connection, for you yourself too, I feel like for you it's probably a little bit of a lighter message. Like for you, you're looking for your new beginning in love, and you're putting yourself out there. When it comes to your person though, and the information that we have here, when it comes to the messages that are coming out, it feels more so like, to me, they're, exploring other options, or they're beginning to recognize that all they really have time for, or all they really more so have the capacity for, are these non-committal, more so, let's say, sexually focused types of connections. because they know that they are. And I feel like that comes from that I'm trying to take responsibility for my actions right now. You know, they're beginning to recognize that they're the problem, or like they're beginning to recognize that there's certain things that they have major issues with that they need to begin to resolve. And right now, it doesn't quite seem as though they are open to resolving those types of issues. And that is part of the reason why they know that they only really have the capacity for, let's say, non-committal, casual types of connections. I also feel like, too, it's shown on that I know it might be too late by the time that I figure things out message, because they're willing to give up the special bond. They're willing to give up, you know, the fact that their mind and heart always comes back to you. They're willing to give up the fact that you are on their mind, etc. Because they know that they're not ready to have the type of relationship. They know that it could perhaps be too late before they figure themselves out, and gain more, even, let's say, confidence in themselves, and begin to be that type of person that's able to let their guard down and be truly open to love, open to giving and receiving love, emotionally vulnerable, emotionally intelligent, etc., and so on and so forth. So, to me, this person, as far as current energy, still very guarded. Casual, non-committal relationships or connections might be a thing for them right now, just because they don't want to let anybody in. They don't want to let that guard down. And I feel like for you, when it comes to this person, this might be someone to avoid, at least in this present moment, especially if you are looking for a new beginning in love that can lead towards something serious, versus this, you know, reset for the connection within your love life that might just lead you toward this Ace of Wands, highly sexually charged connection with this person. I hope that that makes sense. As always, please take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, then it is not meant for you. Thank you all so very much for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, pile 3, my jade pile. Let's see what is going on. What does your person have to say for themselves? What is going on in this connection? What does your person have to say? First 2 piles were no/low communication. So I'm pretty sure we are going to experience the same thing here, pile 3. Let's see what is going on. What is it that your person wants to say to you? I lost a card quite far away, but the first card to jump out was, I just wasn't ready for you. I also want to say, before I go any further into this and forget, we have, I'm finally feeling the consequences of my actions. There was a song that started going off in my head right before I started filming, and the song is Every Day, and it's A$AP Rocky, Rod Stewart, Miguel, and like 1 or 2 other people in it. So if you feel called to, throw that song on, because that song was just blasting in my brain right before I started filming, especially the chorus part that Miguel sings, which obviously I'm not going to sing it for you. But the chorus of that song started blasting in my head. We have, if I knew then what I know now, I would have made different choices. The grass wasn't greener on the other side. Oh, somebody messed up here. We have, I'm more affected than you know, you better be. My mind and heart always comes back to you, as it should. You feel like home to me. Okay, my goodness. We lost 3 cards. I'm going to throw them all back in, just so that at the bottom of the deck. And of course, none of them jumped out. None of them jumped out again. Let's try to get 1 more card from this deck. I'm in a much better headspace now. Good for you. Okay, let's see. Let's get some messages cards from this deck. And then I will organize everything after. So we've got, I just got caught up in the moment. You've affected my life significantly. Along with that, I'm affected more than you know card. Everything is blurry. Let me try something there. Bring it back into focus. Okay, pile 3. I just got sidetracked. Reminds me of I just got caught up in the moment card. I was trying to look for the card. I thought it was in the first deck, but it was in the second deck. Even though I don't show it, I am sorry for how things went between us. Okay, we've got 2 cards. One fell on my lap and not the floor. I care too much about what others think right now. This card to me always makes it seem as though other people are aware of the situation and how much of a D-bag this person was when it came to you and when it came to this connection. Just had to share it. I know it might be too late by the time I figure things out. I am still haunted by my actions. This person did something very naughty. It all comes down to timing. Okay, and it's the songs are speaking to me card was at the bottom of the deck. Isn't that swell? So I'm going to pause real quick, clean this all up. Okay, pile 3. So there's a lot of juiciness, I feel, to this one. It does seem as though your person royally screwed up when it comes to this connection. Their lack of readiness was definitely something that was apparent when it came to this connection. They're feeling the consequences of it. If they knew what they know now, they would have made different choices, because when they betrayed you, cheated on you, etc. So pile 3, let me preface this right now. If this reading does not resonate for you, it is not meant for you. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. I feel like for many of us, this person lacked in commitment. This person either wanted to leave to go explore other options, or this person betrayed us in a significant way. Of course, that sense of betrayal could also be something as simple as them not committing their time, effort, and energy to you, not being ready for the connection, not prioritizing you. But I do feel like for the majority of the people that chose pile 3, it's possible, or there's high potential, that this person was unfaithful. And if you do not know of them being faithful, then, or unfaithful rather, than this pile is not meant for you. I would not be telling you new information here. This would be shit that you are already well aware of. Okay, it would have been one of the reasons why you chose to leave this person in the past. So this person, they seem to have left. They thought that they weren't ready for you or ready for the commitment that was coming about within this connection. They thought that they weren't ready to move things forward, etc. And now they're recognizing what a mistake it was to leave this connection to explore other options, or like destroy this connection because they were unfaithful in some way or betrayed you in some way. Okay, and now I do feel like they are very much so, you know, they've got you on their mind very heavily. Okay, they have you on their mind a lot. Okay, they are affected by the fact that this connection is no longer in contact or communication with one another. They're constantly thinking of you. They're thinking of the comfort, the stability, and the security that you brought to their lives. Because it does seem as though whatever it is that they've been exploring outside of the connection that you both share with one another is maybe even per se like unstable, or it doesn't feel like home to them. It feels uncomfortable to them. And they're realizing that they had that comfort and security when they were with you, and they're not finding it elsewhere. Okay, right now, I feel like them being in a better headspace is mainly referring to the fact that they're recognizing how wrong they were, and that they've been working on themselves in one way or another, which I believe when that card jumped out, I said, good for you. You know, as you should be working on yourself, because it does seem like they need some work. And to me, when we move forward now to I just got caught up in the moment and I just got sidetracked, it sounds like excuses to me. You know, like to me that sounds like the type of excuse. Like I either got caught up in the moment, when I was betraying you in some way, or I just got sidetracked in the sense that this person may not have been committing their time, effort, and energy to this connection, or they may not have been prioritizing you. But it was a pattern. So it's like, it's not really like this person just got sidetracked. It was a pattern, or it was that they were habitually not prioritizing you within the connection. Or again, on the I just got caught up in the moment aspect of this non-committal side of this person, that could have just been an excuse as that they could have used, like, I just got caught up with this person. It wasn't about the feelings. I didn't have feelings for them. Like, it was just a one-time thing. I just got caught up in the moment type of, excuses that we could hear. As far as current energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles. To be honest, I feel like that Queen of Pentacles is saying, as far as current energy for you, you are feeling quite unbothered. You've still got the comfort, the peacefulness, the stability, the security. It's this person that's torn up right now about this connection. It's this person that has to deal with the consequences. It's this person that has to feel haunted by their actions. You yourself are sitting pretty. And, like, to be honest, it's so effing funny, because when I paused to finagle all these together, that song again, it's Every Day by A$AP Rocky. He's like the main person, or the song was on his album. And for me, it just kept coming. I was like, this person just feels so unbothered, meaning you. You feel very unbothered. And then the Queen of Pentacles jumped out, but the card that I saw in my mind's eye was the Nine of Pentacles. I do feel like they're pretty much, not pretty much 1,000% similar, but I feel like they're similar enough. And I was like, it just seems like you, the listener, is very unbothered. Like, you're feeling fine. The song says, like, I'm feeling fine. I'm like sipping my wine, etc. Again, I'm not going to break out into song here, but I feel like for you, yeah, like, you're fine. You still have that same peacefulness. You're prosperous, you're peaceful, you are living your life in that same comfort and security that this person left you in. Like, this person did not rock you or your foundation. They might have hurt you. They might have at times caused, let's say, a dip in your self-worth. You might have at first, when things first went awry within this connection, felt badly about it, felt like there was something wrong. But at this point in time, you've grown, you've healed, you've evolved. You know that there was nothing wrong with you when it came to this person and this connection. You knew that there was something wrong with them, let's say. But I feel like, again, it's like, you deserve to be unbothered. You deserve to be sitting tall, standing tall, whatever the expression is. You deserve to be unbothered, living your best life, focusing on your peacefulness, your prosperity, your stability, your security, still doing exactly what it is that you need to do for yourself, prioritizing yourself, putting yourself first, as you should be. Okay? So now let's try to get some other cards out here. Let's see what else is going on here as far as this person's, or as far as the current energy. And I feel like the current energy with the Fool is kind of, to me, two different energies. The Fool's on the move. The Fool's trying to figure out what to do with their life. The Fool is trying to, the Fool just jumped out for the previous reading. So to me, the Fool, it can represent a variety of things. It can represent foolishness. It can represent new beginnings and leaps of faith. It can represent casual or non-committal relationships. And I just find it interesting to see the mix-up here, almost like the Queen of Pentacles is you, the Fool is whoever this person is. The Fool, he's still running around running that same game, or she, whoever it is, like, gender-wise. They're still your ex-partner or ex-connection mate, let's say, is like still running around, still acting the same reckless type of way. You've grown, you've healed, you've evolved. This person is still very much the same. Okay? I hope that makes sense. And I also feel like, too, it's like that person, they're still... Oh, crap. We got two cards. We've got the Ace of Wands and Page of Wands, which, like, to be honest, even the Page of Wands to me, it can bring up, pages in general at times can bring up emotional immaturity, or immaturity. So to me, it's kind of like we get this similar message here. And like for you, I forgot what I was going off about before, but it's like the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords. Let's say if those two cards are more so representing you, you've found the clarity and the closure that you need. You've moved on. Again, you feel like home to yourself. You're feeling fine. You're feeling unbothered. You are still stable, secure, prosperous, comfortable. You are living your best life, and you've found through growing, through healing from this connection and evolving, you have that clarity and that closure that you need. This person, it seems not so much. This person, it seems like they're still rather immature, or like emotionally immature. They're still not really settled down within their own lives. And I feel that's why, it comes down to timing, and that's why it might be too late by the time they figure things out, because they're still not quite sure, they're still uncertain, or they're still unsettled within their own lives. So I hope that that makes sense. The last thing that I want to touch upon, that I briefly touched upon, also has to deal with I care too much about what other people think right now, or what others think right now. As I said when the card jumped out, I usually see that card as an indication of, like, everybody knows what a schmuck I was. And because of everybody knowing what a schmuck I was in the past, I don't want to embarrass myself again by, like, inserting myself back into your life. Because I know, like, your mama knows, I know all your friends know, and I don't want to put myself through that, etc. And it's bringing up that, but to me, it's also perhaps bringing up the fact that immaturity again on this person's end, where if they care too much about what everyone else is thinking about them or about the connection, it's perhaps showing that at times they're, again, a little bit immature. Because to me, if they were very serious about this connection, if they were very serious about making positive movement forward with you, they wouldn't really give a crap what anyone else thinks. They'd be following their heart. But it doesn't really quite seem as though they're following their heart in this situation. They're busy thinking about what everybody else would possibly think. They're busy being, nervous and apprehensive because they know that they screwed up in the past. And I do have to say, compared to the other piles, there's a lack of apology cards. I'm trying to see, I know there's even though I don't show it, I am sorry for how things went between us, but that's really it. And if you were to look at the messages that jumped out for the other piles, it's like, I'm sorry, I regret this, I feel bad, blah, blah, blah. Your person, there's not a lot of that, which to me could perhaps be yet again another indication of this person. They do know that they messed up, but they're also immature at the same time. I hope that that makes sense. I feel like for pile 3, again, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. I feel like for pile 3, you found that clarity and closure that you need. You are pretty much or somewhat unbothered by this situation at this point in time that took place between you and this person. It seems like you're moving onward and upward with your own life. You didn't let this situation break you or hold you back. You grew from it. So I do hope very much so that makes sense. Thank you so, so much, Pile 3, for allowing me to read for you today. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful day.